Ryan QC here. I'm the head instructor at influencermarketingcourses.com, where we teach social media influencers like you how to ditch the 9-to-5, travel the world for free, and make best friends with the UPS man as he delivers weekly boxes of free product. So whether I sent you this video personally or you just happen to stumble across it, I'm happy you're here. And if by the end of the video you feel like you've learned something, be sure to subscribe and drop a thumbs up. Today, you're going to learn 5 hacks that you can use to increase your follower count on Instagram that you likely have not seen anywhere else. 2 of them, though, may sound familiar, but we take a different approach that I'm sure you're going to like. And if you like these tips, we have a ton more inside of our course titled How to Become an Expert and Sought After Influencer. But I won't ramble on that right now because I truly believe that you need to provide value to somebody up front before you have their permission to ask them to do anything. A value-first mentality is something that you can and should implement into your content strategy as an influencer. So before I get into the tips, I have one last thing to say. People do not care about you, they only care about what you can do for them. So if you want to be successful, understand what I just said. Check your ego at the door and focus on providing value to the lives of the people that follow you. When that's the approach you take to your content, you allow people to decide for themselves if they want to buy from you or follow you or whatever your end goal is. And it's best done by following the approach that I just laid out. Now, let's dive in. The first one that I'm going to show you is a cool trick that you can use to find nicer places to shoot cool content. Because with better content quality means more engagement, which means more followers. And now, while engagement and follower count are 2 different metrics, they do work hand in hand together. Better engaging content means less people are unfollowing you, which is something that's often overlooked when people think about growing their follower count, is that people might actually be unfollowing you. Like, cool, you gained 300 followers last week, but how many of those are going to stick around if you're not providing them value or intriguing them? Anyways, let's jump into my phone. So first, you have to think about where you are geographically. So this isn't going to work if you're wanting to shoot content that's several states or several provinces away from you, because the chances of you actually getting there on a regular basis is quite low. So you want to find commercial or shout out or travel pages that focus on your specific area, somewhere that you can realistically expect to travel to by car. So an example here could be Travel Alberta. So you look for a page like this that is reposting other photographers' content. So for example, let's look at this photo here. Okay, Malign Canyon. So if you click on the location tag here, you can tap on the map, click this button here, and then open in Google Maps. So that'll actually take you directly to this place where you can shoot the same photo that this person has taken. You can also see what other top photos have been taken here. So you can get a real feel for what kind of content you could create at this place. If you can create a variety of content, maybe you can get 4 or 5 different posts you can use over the course of a few weeks that you can post by going to this place, because it has so many different cool backgrounds and areas. This is definitely a good idea. So you want to be able to find a place like Travel Alberta or one that's similar to where you were in, but they have to include location tags. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they might just include Calgary, Alberta. So that doesn't help you find that specific area because that's an entire city. So you want to find pages that do actually use at least some of the exact. So this one, Abraham Lake. So you can go here and see what other content has been taken here. So this looks like a pretty cool place as well. So find one that's similar to where to Travel Alberta, but is in your location, and you'll be able to replicate really cool imagery and get a feel for what kind of stuff you can take before you actually arrive there. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that one. Now let's go to the next one. Hack number 2. This one I can guarantee you has not been seen anywhere else because I made it up, but it works incredibly. So I trust you're familiar with what top comments are on a post. So you tap on comments on a popular post and you get to see all the comments. The top comments show up at the top because they have the most likes. And when you tap to see the comments, the ones with the most likes show up at the top. So those top few get quite a bit of exposure, don't they? Everybody taps the comments and sees those first before they reply their own comment. Your objective is to be that top comment. But how? Here's what you do. Okay, so for this one, you want to become the top comment on popular pages so that every time somebody hits view comments, yours is showing up at the top, so you get a lot of exposure. The trick here is you want to find some pages that have either several 100,000 followers or low millions, because if they have too much engagement, then you're never going to show up at the top unless you create a really, really compelling comment. But we want to sort of hack the system. So we want 4 or 5 likes on a comment to be enough to get to the top comment. So you need to find certain pages that will allow you to do that. One that I use is called Founder. So if you look at these posts, they've got 1.6 million followers. But if you look at the posts, you can see here, okay, this one has 5,700 likes. But if you tap view all comments, the top comment here only has 2 likes. So the rest of them, you can see, don't have any more than, these ones are 1 like. These ones have no likes. So you want to be the top comment on this. So it's important to not only just put something very generic, you want to make a comment based on what this says here. So most people give up just when they're about to achieve success. They quit on the 1-yard line. They give up in the last minute of the game, 1 foot from a winning touchdown. Okay, so I might say, love the football analogy. For more great motivational content, check out at intro. And I mean, you can obviously do this based on what your niche is. So maybe you're a fashion influencer. You might go to fashion pages that have a similar sort of low likes but high engagement, and then leave your thoughtful comment and then a reason for somebody to go and follow you. So if I post this now, and then I hit back, the trick here now is I want that to be the top comment. Right now it's not. So you have to have multiple accounts on your Instagram app. So you can add up to, I believe, 6. So I've got several here that I'm going to go into. So take this post and DM it to either the other accounts that you own or some friends that are kind of in on the game. So I'll DM this to the people that I'm going to have like this, or the accounts that I'm going to have like this that I actually operate. So now I go into the other accounts one by one, go into the DMs, go on that, and then hit the like button. Go to my next account. Again, go into here, hit like, hit like. Now, when I look at this post on an account that I haven't liked it yet, look what one is showing up first. So when people are scrolling through their timeline, people are seeing my comment without actually even hitting view all comments. When I click into here, I'm now the top comment. So that's a really good way to get a lot of exposure by hacking the system. Okay, this one is a spin off of one of Gary Vee's tricks, the $80 strategy. He suggests that you go onto a hashtag and then comment, like, and follow people that are using that hashtags in their posts. What I suggest is taking that one step further. So think about where your potential followers are hanging out on Instagram, as in what brands and pages they're engaging with. Think about what they want. Are you a vegan fitness influencer? How about an advocate for body positivity? Or maybe you're a fashion influencer who specializes in finding affordable fashion for young moms. Once you figure out what type of follower you're going for, you need to find out where they're going to be. Think of it this way. You go to a conference on vegan food, fitness, and health, and there are thousands of people there. You want to go up on stage at that conference in front of thousands of people and announce that you have a solution to their problem. And all they need to do is tap the follow button on your Instagram account to have their problem solved. That's the mentality that you take. It's just here. That conference is actually a little community of hashtags that have been used between 50,000 and 300,000 times. Large enough to make an impact, but small enough to have your voice heard. So I'll show you what to do. So some of these tricks will attract, like one that you'll see coming up next after this tip, will attract some more spammy accounts or people that are just out there trying to gain their followers. They're out there trying to grow their own accounts. So that, while that is not necessarily how you want to build an entire audience, it is still important because once you get up that 10,000, you start seeing that K next to your follower count rather than just showing 5,000 or whatever. That's when you really have that social proof. So that means that when somebody that you do actually want you to follow, whether it's somebody that will likely turn into a customer of yours or a loyal follower of yours, they're more likely to hit that follow button if they see you have 10,000 followers. So using some artificial tactics to get those followers, the first 10,000, will make those 10,000 plus become much easier for you. So that's why it's important to do. But this strategy I'm about to show you now is something that you can do long term, and I would recommend doing it long term because it's probably the best way to grow the right type of follower base. So this is what you're going to do. It is this, like I said, a spin-off of what Gary Vee does, but you're going to be going a little bit deeper into the comments you're using. So rather than, or the hashtags that you're using. So rather than selecting hashtag motivation, if you want to go to a motivation page or you're a fitness person or putting hashtag fitness, you're going to think about where your potential followers are and what brands and pages they're interacting with. So I'll show you what we do. So we go into Influencer, and we look to see what hashtags people that are tagging them use. So we say, okay, Eva Instant Party. So we know, because that's a pretty specific hashtag, that all these people here are going to be people that we can interact with because they're likely to be thinking about becoming an influencer. So we'll go through here one by one and leave a like and then a comment. And the comment is where the magic happens. So we're not just going to do any sort of comment that's super generic. We're actually going to spend the time to look into who these people are. So, okay, her name is Becca. So I'm going to name drop the name Becca. Hit that like button. I'm going to comment. And because I have my short key set up so that I can just type in IN comment 1, press space, it'll say, looks like you're in the path to becoming an influencer. Congrats. Well, if you want to become a paid influencer, follow at IntroFuel. We're an influencer marketing agency and we offer courses for influencers, but we give a ton of free advice too. Check us out, hashtag microinfluencers, hashtag learn, hashtag here to help. Now, you don't want to just copy and paste this over and over and over again because Instagram will actually block you from doing that. So you need to add personalization in the beginning. So I'll actually read the caption, at least skim through it. Not long enough that I spend so much time on it, but enough that I understand what she's saying. So I'll say, this looks like a cool product. Becca. So I've used her name so she knows it's not a bot. I've mentioned something that is in the photo, there's products in there, so she knows that it's not fake either. She'll think that I actually spent the time to write all of this out, which I more or less did. I just copy and paste the same thing. So I'll post it and then go out. And I'll move on to the next one. And now the trick is, we'll see one here that has some comments on it. These are all pretty recent. So this one has comments on it here. So I might say, I might comment on this one. So this is a pretty long one. So she's probably giving an honest review. So I'll say, thanks for the honest review, Sarah. And then I'll write the IN comment. And you can actually copy and paste this section to make it a little bit quicker on yourself. So what I'll do is I'll go here to looks, I'll select and scroll down and actually copy this. So it's just a matter of copying and pasting. It's a little bit quicker. And then I'll post this and then I'll go in and I'll like everybody else's comment. So within this one post, it has 9 comments on it. And I've now left a like on Sarah's page, a comment on her page, and then I've liked some of her comments as well as people that she's following. So within this one post, I've left probably 12 to 15 different notifications on people's accounts so that they're all going to go ahead and check me out. So you keep doing that. And now you're obviously not going into influencer and doing that, but if you can find something similar for what you're doing. So maybe let's say you are someone who teaches affordable fashion and how to find those outfits. So I might go into here and type in affordable fashion. And you can start commenting on these people's posts. You want to make sure that you're not selecting brands here. So here's a girl. So we'll click like there, and then we'll comment saying, looks like you enjoy affordable fashion. Drop her name, which is IN. So that you'll actually add in after this your plug, we'll call it. So you'll say, hey, if you're looking for more ideas on how to dress affordably and fashionably, be sure to drop me a follow, and then add in at whatever your handle is on Instagram so people can actually go in there and tag, and then like the post and like everybody else's comments that are on that post. And you go through and you do that, spend 15, 20 minutes every day or so doing that, and you'll start to get a lot of people following you back, and you're actually building that relationship. So you're not just one of those people that otherwise would have just done this. Heart. That's what everybody else seems to be doing. So that person's going to be like, oh, whatever. Like I get a billion of these each time I upload something of all these bots. You're clearly standing out and building a really loyal following right from the first touch point. So hopefully you like that one too. So I know you've definitely heard of the follow and unfollow trick, right? But did you know that hitting the follow and the unfollow button actually pisses off Instagram, and they start punishing you in the algorithm for it? They want a place where people have meaningful engagements. Not one where people just scroll through and hit follow, and not actually even check the accounts or engage with them. So here's a way to keep your following low, as in the people that you follow, but not piss off Instagram, but still get the same results. I call it unfollow and refollow. Okay, so this one is a spin-off of the follow and the unfollow trick. So the follow trick traditionally has been to follow random accounts, maybe random accounts in your niche if you're somewhat smart, and then unfollow them if they decide to not follow you back. So the idea is that you follow more people, you'll get more followers, but then you end up having a completely messy news feed or timeline to the point you don't even want to scroll down it because you got 5,000 people there you don't actually know. So this is a trick that you can use to keep your following, as in the people that you're following, low, but still get those same benefits and actually get people that are within your niche, the people that you actually want to follow you. So what you do is you select some verified accounts. Like I have The Rock, Joe Rogan, Gary Vee, Lewis Howes. We've got Grant Cardone. So a bunch in here that I've recently followed. And what I'll do is start from the top and just unfollow these. Careful to not leave this screen. And don't scroll up too fast. If you scroll up too fast, it'll actually refresh and all those accounts will disappear and you'll have to go back and refollow them. So I do actually recommend writing these accounts down in case that does ever happen. You won't have to try to remember off your memory which ones you actually need to refollow again. So then you go here and you start liking the same accounts again. And for some reason, and this is okay, so if you go over the screen, you actually go to their account, you can go back. But if you refresh or go back again, it will not be there. And for some reason, I'm not really sure why, but for some reason, your recent follows actually show up about 9% the way down. So these are a bunch of other verified accounts that you can find here. So I'll do the same thing with these accounts. And then I'll go to the top here and like them. So what this is doing and why this works is because now if you look at Mel Robbins, her followers, I'm there at the top. So there's other people that are going in and liking the people that are following this account. So they're actually doing the wrong way of the follow and unfollow. And they're just going through here and hitting follow on all these different accounts. So what we're doing is we're basically pushing ourselves back up to the top on accounts we are already knowing. We already know that people are doing this because they're verified. So they're large accounts. They have a large amount of followers. People are actually doing this. and we're just continuously going to the same ones rather than following more and more people. So this is the trick that you should do. I call it follow and refollow. So it'll work really well. You can see here, I'll be won't be the very top most likely, but I'll be up there. So there I am. So we're going through here and liking these. So rather than if you're following 5,000 people and that person that you followed, which was number 2,229, then you're not going to be anywhere near the top of that list, and people aren't actually going to be following you from that. So this is the trick that you need to use. All right, last trick for now. We've got a ton more growth tips within our course. There's actually 16 more. You can find it at influencermarketingcourses.com, and it's the course titled How to Become an Expert and Sought After Influencer. So this next one, we're going to be hacking Instagram stories. You know when you search a hashtag and there's an Instagram story for that hashtag? It'd be pretty cool to show up there, right? But it'd be even cooler to show up for 30 hashtags, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be. Right. So what you need to do is have a photo or a post where there's a realistically small area that is exactly the same color or very similar. So here you can see that there's a decent amount of blue that spans across the image that I could hide some text behind. But also, let's say, for example, you're at the beach and the sun is in the background and it's making part of the photo quite bright or white, then that can work as well. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. So you take your 30 hashtags that you have saved in your Google Drive, like I mentioned. Copy. And now you want to paste them in this. So hit a text there, paste. And now you obviously don't want a bunch of really nasty looking pieces of text here or hashtags. So you use the eyedropper tool, select the area of the color, the consistent color. So whether it's the sun in the background or it's somewhere where there's a solid color, maybe it's your shirt or whatever, hit done. Now make it small and slide it over to that area. So now you can realistically show up for up to 30 hashtags with this trick. Now, you're not going to show up for the hashtags if you're choosing hashtag Instagram or hashtag makeup or hashtag fashion because there's just too much competition. You have to be a really big time influencer to be showing up for those. So what you need to do is select that sweet spot, like I mentioned earlier, between 50,000 and 300,000 uses of that hashtag. For this trick, actually, you could even go slightly lower than 50,000 and still realistically see some results, but you do have less visibility with those because there's not as many people looking and using those hashtags. But it's better to show up for a smaller hashtag than to not show up one at all. So it's definitely worth experimenting with, and you'll figure out what works for you and then be able to fine tune the hashtags that you use in your stories with this trick. All right, that's it now, folks. Those are 5 quick tips that give you a sneak peek into what our course offers. This is actually one portion of one lecture within 100 plus lectures on how to become a successful and sought after influencer. Link is in the description if you're interested, and feel free to ask questions within the comments of this video and either myself or a member of my team will get back to you directly. Drop a like if you found any of this stuff insightful, and subscribe if you want more. Peace and love, folks.